welcome back to Homestead Corner. Today I'm going to show you how to take a potted plant and retransplant it into hydro. LetPot contacted me about checking out one of their smart module planters. This thing is super cool. I really like it. I really love that you can go from soil or hydro. You can do either with this planter. But I wanted to show you all of these plants that are in here. We've got rosemary, parsley, a couple of basil, and a cilantro. The basil was, oh my God, it was frostbitten and horrible when I got it from the store. But you can see these are coming in nice. It's got nice fresh growth on the top, and the hydro really helps it heal and recuperate faster than just in soil. I like both ways. These plants, we'll grow them through the winter in this hydro, and we will eat them and harvest off them, and then when the spring hits and they're ready to go outside, we will get them into the garden and they'll go back into soil. It's really nice that you can go from soil to hydro, back to soil, back to hydro if you wanted. You really can mix it up, which is nice. So right now, I'm gonna show you how we transplant these and go from soil into hydro. This parsley plant is just one that I picked up at the grocery store. In the produce section, they have these little organic herbs that you can clip and eat, and our store is really horrible at watering them, so they usually look a little funky. After the first day, they get really dry. So I'm going to show you how we take this potted plant in dirt and put it into the hydro system, because this is really super simple and easy to do. A lot of people think it's complicated, but I'm just going to pull this whole plant right out of the water, and we're going to lose a little bit of this. It does happen. Some of it won't take the transplant well, but most of it will. So you can, and it will heal up really fast. So you can see this is pretty root bound. I'm going to pull as much of this soil off as I can gently with my fingers. You don't want to disturb the roots too much. You don't want to rip and tear them. You want to be as gentle as possible with them. So, and I usually take this, like this is way too big for one pot. So I'll take this and I'm going to break it right in half. So I've got 2 plants, or you could even go 3 or 4. There is a lot of parsley here. So this is all intertwined together, and we're just gently going to pull these apart. Just very gently. You can see I've got the soil separated without too much damage to the roots. And we just want to go nice and gentle as we can, because parsley likes to stick. There we go. So we've got that separated now. And I'm going to, again, get in here with my thumb, just kind of root around and try to knock as much dirt off as I can. And we can reuse this soil in something else if we want. Never want to throw it away. You can just chuck it in the garden bed, and there's always nutrients in there. This little piece is... Alright, so once I get as much of that soil off as I can with my fingers without doing too much damage, I'm just going to take it over here. This is just filtered water, and we're going to run some filtered water over the roots. And you can see it starts pulling that dirt right away from the roots. And there's a stick in here. And it is all wrapped around. There we go, get that stick out. And we're just going to kind of move it around a little bit. We don't want to hurt it. We don't want to tug on it too much. You start pulling on those roots and it's just going to kill the plant. So once I get quite a bit of water in the bowl, I've got a bowl down here collecting the water because I don't want that dirt going down the sink. I'm just going to kind of push it around with my fingers and push as much of that out as possible. So you can see we've got a lot of the dirt out and we're getting down to just roots here. So that is really nice. And you may not be able to get all the dirt out. That's okay. It's not going to hurt your planter. I always have a couple pieces of this little white perlite floating around in there, and that's okay. It doesn't hurt it. So we have got our roots pretty clean here. Got a little piece down there. That's all right. But you can see those roots are nice and clean, and we're going to get this potted up. Okay, so here's one of our pots, and I just added some spun clay beads. You can get these at any garden center or online. They're easy to find, and you know, lots of hydroponic stuff whenever you need that. So I'm just going to take the plant and the roots. I'm going to put those right near the bottom. I've got about 1 inch of clay beads on the bottom, and then we're just going to add more, and we're going to add them right around our roots, just like soil. So they're going to be the medium that they grow in are these clay beads. Just simple and easy. Just throw those right in there. And I'm just going to fill this pot up quite a ways with my beads. I want them to be nice and sturdy in there and to hold that plant up. I just want enough to make sure my plant is not going to be falling over. And it's a little sad right now, and that's okay. It's going to come right back. We're going to put it in there with all that nutrients in the water, and we have just planted up parsley from plant pot to hydro. And this LetPot module smart planter, it's really cool, honestly. I like the way it works. If you use it as soil, it's self-watering. You don't have to worry about watering it, which is really nice. If you're taking off for a couple of weeks, it's going to water itself, no problem. We just have underneath here, we put the hoses down underneath the shelf, and we have the tank underneath with the water in it. On one end of the modules, you'll notice it's got a little extra piece on it, and that's where the pump is housed, and it's all enclosed, so you don't have to do anything with it. This is so easy to hook up. The manual comes with it. It's got, you know, directions on how to do it. You can put it outside, inside. You can do anything you want. You can get the stand and the light also. If you're going to use it inside, a light really helps. We have a window behind it, but that's a covered porch, so it really doesn't get any direct sunlight at all in this. So you get all of the hoses, all of the components, everything, the little baskets that they go in. It comes also with the bigger cups for soil planting and a little spacer ring that they sit into, so it fits in the planter nicely. So you can use these as well, which is awesome. If you wanted to do soil and have the self-watering, it does that. All the fittings, plugs, clamp, hoses, there's a little Allen wrench tool in there. Everything you could need for this really it's included in it. So you can hook it right up, little elbows, tons of those. And you can see over here, you just cut the hose. It's plenty of hose when you get it. You just cut it to fit wherever you're going to set it. These can sit side by side, but your tank should be underneath. You don't want your tank higher because it'll flood out your pot. So the water tank needs to be lower than the planters. That's the only thing. So you could do these on a big like bay window, something like that, with a pot on the floor. The light is an LED light, and this thing, I've got the light running and the pot. Everything's running. We're running it off a solar generator, and this is just a little 600 watt. We've been running it like this for a couple of weeks. We just recharged this generator, and so it's not costing us any energy, but it really only takes about 24 watts to run the entire system with the light. And if you don't need the light, if you've got plenty of sun, it will be way less, because this only comes on a couple of times. So the app is super simple and easy to use. You can change how often the settings for the water. You can take that. We've got it set to come on every 3 hours for 8 minutes. So it only comes on 8 times a day, and it only runs that pump for about 8 minutes. So it just brings fresh water through the system, kind of just brings everything around, the nutrients and everything. And you can add in the app, you can also add what plants you planted. There is a little place for your garden, so you can add all these things. You can put pictures of your plants, you can write all kinds of notes in there, whatever it is, and you have a little diary of how it's gone. So if you have planted your plants, these are almost 2 weeks they've been in here, and they have made a significant change, because when you go from that soil to water, the plant is like, ugh, for a few days, but it bounces right back. It really likes the hydro. So, so you can check all that stuff. You can put little notes in there, and then you can go back through and see how long did it take you to harvest the plants and all that stuff. Anything that you wanted to do in there, or like I'm noticing today, these are starting to get a little curly because the light is a little close. So we're just going to move that light up. It's on a little adjustable stand, so the light can go higher up. So it's not getting so warm here for these tops. This is really super simple and easy to use. If you're interested in it, there are links down below. I think it's a great way to get started if you're new to hydro, or if you're interested in hydro, or even if you're just looking for something self-watering. This makes it really easy. I mean, it is so simple to put together and get it up and running, and we are really enjoying this, and the plants really seem to be loving it. And that's it for today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.